So let's talk about boundary building. Boundaries are the invisible lines that we paint around ourselves to help us define what is and what is not okay. Without boundaries, our sloppy borders gobble up our time and muddy our goals, while diminishing our life stories. We need to establish boundaries and grab hold of what we can control in our lives. Boundaries help us and our well-being in so many ways. They protect our bodies, minds, and time, conserve emotional energy and limit our choices, improve our relationships, allow us to be compassionate and generous, secure space for us to be more vulnerable and grow, help us at work, allow us more freedom to live with intention and achieve our goals. And one more key element is the power and importance of saying no sometimes. Your time is so valuable. No is a boundary. Remember that. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to anything else you may be able to accomplish during the same time. Saying no doesn't mean you'll never be spontaneous. It just means that whenever you do say yes, it is purposeful and focused. You could be preserving time with your family, your kids, or even, importantly, time for yourself. If you need a reminder, put a little sign on your computer or in your daily activity list. So let's stand back and think about what we're tolerating in our lives. We tolerate these constant interruptions and distractions. Interruptions and distractions internally could be that you forgot something, you thought of a new idea. Externally, they could be technology interruptions. Someone comes into your room, a child, an animal. And for these constant distractions and interruptions, we need clear, specific, and truly actionable boundaries to help us with our well-being. When it comes to internal boundaries, we can create agreements, determine priorities, set up a brain dump yard for later. With respect to external boundaries, we can create boundaries with technology tools. We can use time limits and awareness apps. We can have specific rules around checking our email and our social media. Other boundaries are also possible, like a sign on your door or simply let others know you will not be available. Boundaries increase our control. In reality, we are being kind to ourselves. So let's examine the 4C model for creating boundaries. 1. Clarify. Based on your values and roles, examine what new boundaries you would like in your life. What's important in your life that needs protecting? What roles need protecting? 2. Create. Establish your boundaries and let's make them as tangible as possible. What new boundaries will you form? What are the specifics? How, when, why, and with whom? 3. This is very important. Communicate. Communicate your boundaries to others and to yourself. Make them brief, yet informative, firm but kind. 4. Finally, let's crystallize our boundaries. Let's build a routine around our boundaries. Let's habit them, realigning and adjusting as necessary. Also, please remember, it is so important to start small and celebrate your wins. As Henry Cloud, the author of Boundaries, explains, boundaries define us. They define what is me and what is not me. A boundary shows me where I end and someone else begins, leading me to a sense of ownership. So I ask you, what about you? Can you name 1 or 2 boundaries you would like to adopt in your own life? And how would that make you feel?